वासुदेवेन्द्र योगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते. So we'll start chanting from Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Shariram Kim Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutaihi Krutam Satkarmajanyam Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam Panchak Jnanendriyani Panchak Karmendriyani Panchak Pranadayah Manaschaikam Buddhischaikevam Saptadashakalavihi Saha Yah Tisthate Tat Sukshma Shariram. Shrotram Tuk Chakshu Rasana Ghranam Iti Panchak Jnanendriyani Shrotrasya Digdevata Tvachah Vayuh Chakshusha Suryah Rasanaya Varunah Ghranasya Ashvinau Iti Jnanendriya Devata. Shrotrasya Vishaya Shabda Grahanam Tvacha Vishaya Sparsha Grahanam Chakshusha Vishaya Rupa Grahanam Rasanaya Vishaya Rasa Grahanam Ghranasya Vishayo Gandha Grahanam iti Vakpani Padapayu Pasthani iti Panchak Karmendriyani Vacho Devata Vanni Hastayoho Indraha Padayoho Vishnu Payoho Mrityuho Upastasya Prajapatihi iti Karmendriya Devata. So up to this we have seen, okay? Now when we look at Atma Kaha, that is how we started. So who am I? So what is me? Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktaha. Because you have to remember like this, okay? So that it becomes easier for you to understand. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vyatiriktaha पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थात्रय साक्षी सचिदानंद स्वरूपः सन् यह तिष्ठति स आत्मा. So that which is free from three bodies, different from three bodies. So gross body, subtle body. So we have seen in details gross body. Now we are seeing subtle body. So what is subtle body? So subtle body also we said Apanchikruta Panchamahabhutaihi Krutam. So this is made up of ungrossified five elements. At the same time, Satkarmajanyam, made up of my good actions that I did in my previous life. Sukha Dukkhadi Bhoga Sadhanam, it is a means to experience Sukham and Dukkham, pleasure and pain. And it has got 17 Saptadasa Kalavisaha. So what is that? Says Pancha Jnanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, Pancha Pranadaya, Manascha Ekam Buddhischa Ekevam. So put together 5 organs of perception, 5 organs of actions, 5 pranas, mind and intellect. So all these 17 things put together is called Sukshma Sharira, subtle body. So we have already seen all these things. We have already discussed the 5 organs of perceptions. Also we have discussed organs of actions, they are presiding deities. Just I am summarizing whatever we have discussed, okay? Don't think what I am talking something here and there, no. Then now comes the area, they are field of activities. So each organs of actions, how they work, what is their area of activities. Let us read. Vacho Vishayo Bhashanam Panyor Vishayo Vastu Grahanam Padayor Vishayo Gamanam Payor Vishayo Malatyagaha Upastasya Vishaya anandayate. Says, if you look at the vacha, so the speech, the sphere of activities of the organ of speech is what? To speak, not to generate heat. So we have to be very careful. So it is supposed to use to communicate, but not to generate heat. Panyo Visaya Vastu Grahanam. The sphere of activities of the hand is to grasp object. That's why you can say, look, this is what the problem has happened. So very nice joke we have, okay? I know this very well. That's why I know how to grab, okay? Only I know how to receive. I don't know how to give at all. Because look how it is being said here. The job of hand is what? The sphere of activities of the hand is what? To receive, to grasp, vastu grahanam. Not pradhanam, not to give. So that's why only I receive, okay? Please remember, when you receive, you also have to give. Because unless your hand is empty, how can you receive? So that means if you are interested to receive, it is exactly like we'll see, when you want to keep inhaling, unless you exhale, can you inhale? Try. Keep inhaling and inhaling. Will it be possible in your life? In fact, the better you exhale, the better you will be able to inhale. So we say very clearly and carefully, if a person wants to inhale more, please learn to exhale more. Don't give emphasis on inhalation, but give emphasis on exhalation. That's why we make it very clear that double time we put the pressure on exhalation. If technically, if you are, let us say, 1 unit you are inhaling, you have to exhale for 2 units of time. Because it's not easier for you, for a common person, to exhale properly. In fact, people make mistake in exhalation. So in order to avoid that in the yoga practice, first thing we make sure that learn to exhale properly. And the better you exhale, the deeper you exhale or longer you exhale, you will discover you will be able to inhale in a better way. So how it works, same thing also here. Unless you give, how can you get? How can you grab? So without giving, you cannot get. So don't look at here vastu grahanam. So we have to write, you have to change adana pradhanam, okay? To receive and to take and receive. To give and receive. Sorry, I am saying to take and receive. So very nicely somebody said, because we have a lot of jokes on this aspect, okay? Do you know, I think when he wrote it, so that time, next day he had to write, because some thought came, he had written and stopped. Next day he wrote it, and he has forgotten to edit it properly. So that's why it stopped as vastu grahanam, only to receive and receive. However, here the job of the hand is adana pradana. That means receiving and giving. Then padayo vishayah gamanam. So the sphere of activities of the leg is locomotion, to move. So moving from one place to another place, that is the job. Not, using leg to for exercising purpose, to burn the calories. That is not the job actually. Unfortunately, most of the people are using, because we use car and vehicles for locomotion. And the worst thing is people go for jogging with a car, okay? They will take the car and park it and go for jogging. What a beautiful way of doing it. Hey, better to start from your home and go and come back. That itself will be taken care. Because this is called, destructive lifestyle, but doesn't matter, don't worry. So we are in this era. So here he says, payoho vishayah, then payoho vishayah malatyagah. So the function of this organ of excretion is what? Eliminating the waste product. And it does its job. Remember, that's what I am trying to say. Suppose if the payoho, this organs of excretion, does not function properly, so wants to take a break. So look, all the time I am doing, cleaning. Let me take for break for 2 days, okay? Just 2 days. What will happen? Definitely will end up in the hospital. It's like, all these cleaning people in the cities. So when they go for strike, you know what happens. Whole city becomes a mess. In fact, the city is clean or functioning properly, it is only because of them. So one has to really understand very clearly and carefully. So that means each one does its job. Then finally, upastasya vishayah ananda iti. So it says the sphere of activities of genital organ is pesa and reproduction. Apart from that, let us look at the very carefully. That we discussed what is Karma Sarira. Saptadasa kalabhi saha, 17 parts. Pancha Gyanendriyani, Pancha Karmendriyani, then comes Pancha Prana. So when it talks about Pancha Prana, so generally Prana, Apana, Samana, Udana, Vyana. So I can rearrange little differently for you to easier to understand, and it's a very general way I am trying to talk here. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana and Udana. Little I am rearranging so that it becomes easier for you to understand, so that it will be in your mind without thinking. Because always people confuse this. Which is what? If you look at the prana, generally we divide prana, the energy part, into 2 categories. So when it is divided into 2 categories, one is called prana, other one is apana. So prana means upward, apana means lower energy. This is one type of division, prana and apana. When it comes to 5 categories, it becomes different. So here we are discussing into 5 categories: prana, apana, udana, vyana, samana. But here I am putting the prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. How? So prana here means inhalation. So when you inhale, that the energy that works, so the inhalation part is called prana. So how this body, the system works through the inhalation, during inhalation. So you look at that as a prana. So apana in short is called exhalation part. So when you exhale, how it works? So the process of exhalation, the whole system, is the job of apana. How it works, what it works, in details it goes. Because easier to inhalation prana, exhalation apana. Okay, that's good. Then comes Vyana. So Vyana job is, so whatever you eat, from the food, energy is being created. So that energy to be circulated all over the body. So the circulation of the energy that comes out of the body, out of the food, is done by Vyana. Then comes Samana. Samana job is to convert energy from raw food to, or raw material to, fluid system through the digestion. Means the Samana takes care of the digestive energy. So it's a very simple way to remember, okay? Prana, apana, inhalation, exhalation. Then whatever the energy is there out of the food, whatever is being created, that gets circulated through the Vyana. And the food that we eat, that food to get converted into invisible energy. Because the food that you ate is visible energy. So to get converted from visible energy to invisible energy through the process of digestion is the job of Samana. And the other one is very interesting one, is called Udana. Actually Udana always protects us. So that is called emergency exit. And remember, these are the things we have in temples also. This concept are in the temples, especially in Vishnu temple. If you see in the Garbhagriha, means the center, the sanctum sanctorium of Vishnu temple, there will be a small door. Generally that will be towards northern direction. Sometimes they say Surgavasa. That is what they say, the word they use, Surgavasa, they use that word very nicely. And all the time that door is closed. They don't keep it open at all. Once in a year, recently went Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So on 11th day, that is called Vaikuntha Ekadashi, on that day they keep it open. So very nice, interesting. The concept is, all this concept, it has been implemented in the temples. That's why I was trying to tell you, na? The Hindu temple culture completely based on this prana aspect. So coming back here, so that emergency exit, so they very nicely, they different put it, so they have kept it in emergency purpose. Now if you look at Udana, does exactly the same job. When there is something extra, when there is something unwanted in this body, the job of the Udana is to throw it out. For example, starting with, there is some outside particle in your eyes. The tear comes out. Till that fellow is being removed, job of the Udana. Then you can say, oh, whenever I am happy also, that time also I cry, the tear comes out. Is it the same? Please understand, if you are a so scientific person, take both the tears, you will see the combination or chemical composition will be entirely different. When some bacteria gets in, you start sneezing. So the sneezing job again is done by Udana. And of course, you can look at your body, anything that you do to detoxify, everything is done by Udana, including vomiting. So when you do the vomiting, that also does Udana. Also when the diarrhea, all these things happens, that is also job of the Udana. That's why this Udana, they plays a major role, not only to take care of the body, to purify the body, to maintain the body, also Udana plays a major role during death time. So because of Udana, because it becomes so strong, also the prana goes away. So prana leaves the body again with the help of, or when the Udana becomes so active. So these are the called 5 pranas in short. Okay, we have elaborate discussions in different texts, different ways. So pancha prana. Then another 2 is mana and buddhi, which we will see as it discusses, but we can say mana means mind, which we will talk sankalpatmaka manaha. So that means the mind is something where it brings sankalpa vikalpatmaka manaha. So where it brings different type of indecisive situation. Neither you can decide. nor you can do anything. Means that is called mind. It brings different type of thoughts to you. Whereas buddhi is atmika buddhi, the decision making faculty. So that means when you are decisive, so in one portion of your mind you are very decisive, other time you are confused whether this or that. So when you are confused whether this or that, you try to take everything into the consideration. That means that time you are what? You are looking at your mind. Whereas when you are looking at this completely decisive mood, or you have made a decision, that is called buddhi. So put together all these 17 is called here as Sukshma Sarira. So Sukshma Sarira means here is subtle body. Okay, I understand. But you said, Atma kaha, who am I? So Atma is what? Stula Sukshma Karana Sarirat Vetiriktaha. Because you have to remember that thread. Unless and until that thread is being understood, you will not be able to appreciate. So okay, I understand what is gross body. I understand what is subtle body. But what about this Karana Sariram? What is that causal body? Now here it starts. Karana Sariram Kim Anirvachya Anadi Avidya Rupam Sariradvayasya Karana Matram Sat Swarupa Ajnanam Nirvikalpaka Rupam Yad Asti Tat Karana Shariram. So that is called Karana Sarira. So what is that? He says, look, with reference to gross body and subtle body, we could talk something. We could analyze. We could describe. But here is the first thing, he says, Anirvachya. So which cannot be described. First thing is, you cannot explain about causal body properly. You try to explain, but it is not. Why? It says, Anadi. It is something Anadi, beginningless. As the creation is beginningless, you do not know when it begins. We'll see in details all these things. Because here what happens when you say, I made a mistake, not as the creation has got beginning, I made a mistake. As Atma is beginningless, so also Karana Sariram is beginningless. But interestingly, Atma also endless, but Karana Sariram has got an end. This is the difference. So because he says why? Avidya also beginningless. That's why he says Anadi Avidya Rupam. Avidya means ignorance. Like the darkness is beginningless. When did the darkness start? Do you know? Can you say? But it is Anadi. Darkness is Anadi. But it has an end. The moment light comes in, the darkness goes away. Darkness comes to an end. So that means it's very clear. Avidya, as it is beginningless, but it has an end. Here Karana Sarira being the embodiment of ignorance. And of course, it has no beginning, but it has got an end. Then he says, Sarira Dvayasya Karana Matram. So why it is called Karana Sarira? Why it is called causal body? Because of this, two bodies, both gross body and subtle body, come to an existence. Because if we look at this point very carefully, please understand. When the person travels, this is what you have to understand. So Karana Sarira is the seed format. So everything is there. As you know, the death, what we call as death. the gross body falls down. So when the gross body falls down, now if you observe, especially a natural dying person, there are two types of death. One is a gradual death, other one is accidental death. Because you need to understand this very carefully. Gradual death, when it happens, there is automatically withdrawal. The person withdraws one's own self from the gross body. And slowly will discover the person will withdraw everything to the subtle body. That is called gradual death. Whereas with reference to accidental death, unless the person is a wise person, that's another thing. Even if accidental death happens for a wise person, makes no difference. Because death is not there for that person. Body just falls down. Whereas for a common person, when there is accidental death, the person has not got the chance or opportunity or maturity to withdraw from the body. Of course, there are people also, don't worry, even if they are gradual death, still they don't withdraw. Okay? That's another exceptional cases that I will talk in details, don't worry. Because this is the most important aspect to understand in and around you. So when you do not get opportunity to withdraw, but let us say body falls down, that is called death, body falls down. Then what happens? Still the attachment towards body and attachment towards the things that were connected to the body will continue for some time. So that's why to avoid that, we do preta karma. In every religion it is there, don't worry, okay? All this cremation and all these things, what they do is ceremony related to cremation. So, because one side they say only one life, then why do you do that ceremony for the cremation? Not necessary. If you believe the person is lying down in the coffin, so then you don't need anything to do. Take away, straight away, put in the coffin. Why to do all the process? You understand the concept how they do it. So that's why they make it very clear. That's what I am trying to say. So they have their own process. Each one has got their own process. We cannot challenge. We need not challenge. To make sure that the jiva, the individual, is able to withdraw one's own self from the gross body and related to gross body. That's why if you look at, especially in Christianity, this is what they make it very clearly, to withdraw from the related to the gross body, not to the gross body. They say that, look, your body is permanent. Means you lie down in peace, rest in peace. The concept is there, body is permanent. Means what? Lie down, rest in peace. That is the concept. So rest in peace means you don't feel bad. You withdraw everywhere. Now you lie down peacefully here. Means you don't get connected to other things related to the body, like house and other things. Don't house, people, your asset, many things. Don't. That's why you can see, especially in Europe, I am sorry to say, many houses are haunted. If you observe, I am sorry to say what I have seen, especially in Italy, moved here and there, many houses are haunted because of this reason. Because the person has left and they have not done much thing to allow that jiva, that individual, to withdraw from the gross body and related to the gross body. And the best part is, as I say all the time, you go to cremation ground, the burial ground. The energy is so thick. Even if you have little bit common sense, please understand, the moment you pass by the burial ground, you will understand that it is burial ground without your knowledge. Because all the energy is thick over there, because most of them are hanging around there. the heaviness. That's why when you go to burial ground, you come back with heaviness. You say, no, because I went the emotion. Not emotion, please understand. It is the heaviness over there itself. That's why when you go to burial ground, after coming back, you are supposed to take a shower. You are supposed to change your dress. There is no choice. You may say it is not cultural practices. It is a prana aspect, prana culture, if you want to maintain your prana. So why I stress this point? Oh, I am sorry, I have taken more time today. Sorry, within 2 minutes I am stopping it. So here he says, Karana Sariram is this, which is the cause of both the bodies. So one should learn to withdraw one's own self from subtle body to causal body, and causal body should get resolved in the Karana Sariram. And because of the Karana Sariram, now the person starts traveling. In fact, please understand, the death after death means the falling of physical body, the subtle body and causal body joins together. And remember, subtle body and causal body put together is called jiva, that is called in English called soul. So Atma and soul are entirely different. Many people translate soul and Atma one and say no. Atma translation they put as soul is a wrong translation. So here make sure Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira, subtle body and causal body put together is called soul. Soul travels, but Atma never travels. So the Jiva, if you want to use the Sanskrit word, Jiva travels, but not Atma. So that's why make you know that you are nothing but this put together subtle body and causal body. And what is that? Sat Swarupaha. It exists. Ajnanam, ignorance. Nirvikalpaka Rupam. So which really cannot be explained either, because it is exactly, if we observe very carefully, that it is nature of non-differentiation. You cannot really differentiate anything. And this is what is called causal body. We will see more of it in details tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Ashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.